Back in the late 90s, 3D platformers were the king of the crop. You got Super Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, Banjo-Kazooie, Croc, Gex, Bubsy 3D. All these companies were fighting tooth and nail to even get a slight chance to claim the mascot platforming throne. So, when Insomniac decides to jump into the fray, an indie dev team that had only a single game under their belt, and this was their game?
He seems to know his way around the block. How about you?
You've pretty much lost the battle already. But not only did they create a titan of the 90s, they created a legend that still gets a seat at the round table. Unlike Mario, Banjo, and Crash, characters that all had extensive movesets, Spyro's moveset is very concise, even with the unique quadrupedal situation we've got going on here. You've got a jump that leads into a leisurely glide, a charge attack that doubles as a dash, and a decently ranged flame breath. Also, this roll move that I completely blanked on and is never really useful in the entire game. The general movement is pretty snappy and immediate, although the normal walking speed is a bit sluggish, and turning around is momentum halting hell. Luckily, the moves listed beforehand are better alternatives to traveling anyway. However, even with swift movement and 2 offensive options, you're still bound to get hit. But fret not, my fellow epic gamer, for your trusty pal Sparks will protect you. Whoa, okay, too close there. I said we're pals, not best friends, my dude. As a wise man once said, his color indicates his power, and he can take 3 hits for you before he kicks the bucket. He also acts as a gem magnet and picks them up for you while you're on your merry way, which makes losing him all the more tragic. No need to sulk though, cause like any good friend, you can sacrifice the surrounding wildlife to spawn a butterfly, which then causes him to come bulldozing out of his grave to eat them. There are times though, where his little microscopic brain stem unexpectedly snaps and he forgets to pick up a gem. Then you get to go play hide and seek to find which one he forgot to pick up. Oh, what? I'm not at 400? Okay, I guess I missed a few. I guess I'll go look for it. Nope. Where the fuck is it? I've looked in every possible corner and crevice. Who designed this garbage? Speaking of gems, these and dragons are the main collectibles of the game. Gems are everywhere. They're inside burn victims and chests, on top of lampposts and fireworks crammed in fans inside other gems. You get the point. For someone to not even get the majority of gems in each level would require an absolute golem cheese head. Unless it's one of these levels. This one has a mischievous little brat that lowers a platform all the way over here. Though you could make the case that this could be stumbled upon on accident. Then you got the worst level in the game. This thing is a nightmare to navigate, with the main gimmick being praying to God that you have enough momentum to make the jumps. But even more specifically, you have this fucking isolated island that has no clear indication of how to get over there. And like the good civilian I am, and also because I memorized the path from the walkthrough, let me quickly show you how to navigate this monstrosity, this absolute clusterfuck. Whoever figured this out deserves the Purple Heart. Holy shit. But after all this agony, all this deceit, this is your reward.
That was quite a ride, Spyro. You've learned a lot since you were a young glider.
Yeah, well, you could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
Okay, that was kind of worth it. And you know, this leads us right into the dragons! Yes! Perfect segue! I got you, I tricked you.
I'm a sleazy little snake.
The dragons are one of the only times in video game history where the collectible feels like a reward within itself. But the moment you approach one, you've just made a gamble between receiving obvious advice, some fun banter, old people Alzheimer's, or
Thank you for releasing me.
Yeah, that. Either way, I love these guys. Like a man loves his diseased dog with passionate caution. I think that's all I have to say for the collectibles. Okay, I'm done with that section. That's right. I forgot to talk about these guys. They fucking suck. You basically follow them around for a while, and once you know their path, you just keep charging until you catch up to them. Sometimes you don't even have to do that. You could just casually walk up to them and you would be fine. Luckily, they just vanish halfway through the game anyway, so yeah, fuck these guys. But aside from them, gems and dragons are your main focus, which is a nice change of pace from collectathons that try to cram 5 million trinkets of crap into each section. The point of collecting these things is so Balloonist Bob here can send you off to the next world, depending if you got him what he asked for. But either way, you're just better off cleaning house with each level and making off like a bandit. Not only so you don't have to worry about what this idiot wants, but also for the satisfactory emotion of hoarding everything in sight. Just look at this and tell me if you're not overcome with joy. And also this, and this, and this, and this one. Wait, not that one. The levels that contain all these treasures are a blast, and the best aspect of them is the lack of any general structure, which might sound horrible at first, but it more so lends its hand into a sort of non-linear variety. Some levels are open areas with no direct path, some are linear paths with branching sections, and some even hide whole parts of a level for you to discover on your own. It really breaks down the barrier of what can make good 3D level design. To expand even further, there are 2 other level types. Let's get the worst one out of the way first, which are boss levels. These levels try to combine half-baked level design and sort of Frankenstein them together with boss areas, which turns out to be a lousy sacrifice because the bosses suck. Here's Grouch's 3-step guide to beating bosses in this game. Alright, step 1, hit the boss with anything really. Step 2, chase them down as they run off to the next area. Step 3, repeat the first 2 until it perishes into nothing. Congratulations, you've passed my course. You owe me copious amounts of student debt for the remainder of your life. And yes, even the final boss is like this. Thankfully, the game still provides a worthy challenge in the form of flight levels. These levels give you the gift of unbound flight, but uh-oh, the time is ticking. Your goal is to destroy or to come in contact with 4 sets of things scattered around the level, and each thing adds a couple seconds to your timer, so you have a little bit more time for some fuck-ups. There is a set path to get each thing, but you can generally just kind of fuck about until you find what your little heart desires to be the best path, although it can make some really close calls. Ooh boy. Oh, come on. 4, 3, come on! Oh, where is it? Wait, oh. Oh my god. These levels are a real pleasure, and each one varies from the last, which is sort of a statement that can apply to the whole game. Dream skies, frigid caves, putrid swamps with these cumbersome frogs. All 35 levels contain an individual identity, sprawling with beautiful color palettes that smear the entire game in a whimsical charm. Yeah, even goddamn treetops over here. Even with all this game's kinks that eventually got fixed in sequels, Spyro the Dragon will always be one of my favorites of the original trilogy. There is one thing the sequels do significantly better though. They don't have fucking treetops in them, I'll tell you that much.